Welcome to FootballGamePlan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook. Bring you our Little Caesars Pizza Bowl preview between the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers and the Central Michigan Chippewas. Now let's take a look at some keys to victory for both teams, starting with Western Kentucky.
You look at the Hilltoppers on offense, you look at quarterback Kawan Jakes. He has to protect the football and has to be efficient with the football. He's done a great job all season long, but he has those spurts where the bad plays come and that could result into interceptions. But running back Antonio Andrews has to be licking his chops. You look at this Chippewas defense giving up 4.9 yards a carry. Expect him to have a big day. This is one of the more impressive running backs in the country. Now, the defensive side of the football, you have to start with linebacker Andrew Jackson. This guy is what you want in a linebacker. He looks to hit, he has outstanding coverage ability, and always makes impactful plays on the defensive side. Now, they're going to be without their outstanding defensive end, Quintera Smith, who's out with an ACL, so it will put a lot of pressure on the secondary to maintain their coverage. But free safety Jonathan Dowling does a great job of diagnosing plays and shows excellent instincts. He's going to have to be over top of Titus Davis, which is the Chippewas' deep threat. Now let's move over to the Chippewas in this ball game, and we've talked about their offense and how explosive it is. Their offense isn't the problem. You look at wide receivers Cody Wilson and Titus Davis. Both guys are effective after the catch, and both guys have the ability to stretch a defense vertically, and it just opens things up for the running game. So that's why Zerline Tipton, an outstanding tailback, has over 1,400 yards, and quarterback Ryan Radcliffe does a great job of protecting the football, 20-9. So their offense is not the problem. Very good offensive line. They should have some success versus Western Kentucky. Now the question and the issue is defensively, what can they do in the front seven to have some success? They got to get better at number one, rushing the passer, at number two, stopping the run. Those are two things that you don't want to have as your issues going in versus a team like Western Kentucky that can do both, and that's damage on the ground and also damage through the air. So that interior pressure up front is going to have to get to Kawan Jakes. Is going to have to stop the run. You want to put them in backed up situations, but you also have to make sure you get pressure, because what's going to happen, their secondary, which is exceptional, they can make plays on the ball, but if the defensive line and the linebackers put them in those bad situations, it could be a long day for the Chippewas. Eric Fisher out of Central Michigan is a guy you want to keep an eye on. 6'7", 310 pounds, athletic left tackle. A lot of guys want to compare him to Joe Staley. I don't think he's of that caliber, but he's definitely very good in his own right. Could be a potential first-round pick. And keep an eye on Jack Doyle, 6'6", 260 pounds, senior for Western Kentucky. This is a guy that you always want on your football team. Can block, can catch, can also flex out, gives you that versatility. Dan Lefevre was Mr. Chippewa throughout the course of his career from 06 to 09, but also in school history. You talk about the school history leading passer, over 12,000 yards throwing the football, 102 touchdowns, and also was the school's all-time leading rusher, almost 3,000 yards rushing, 47 touchdowns. So when you talk about dual threat passer, you talk about Dan Lefevre, one of the all-time greats in college football history. And Jack Harbaugh was the all-time greatest coach in school history. This is the guy that coached from 89 to 02, four-time playoff appearances, and wrapped up his career on a high note, the best note you want as a coach, by winning the 2002 national championship at the FCS level. Finished his career with a 91-68 overall record. I like Central Michigan in this ballgame. When you look at the Chippewas offense, the balanced attack, they can run the ball. They got two excellent wide receivers, and they have, most importantly, a great offensive line. That right there is going to put a lot of pressure on that Hilltoppers defensive front that's without Quintera Smith, an NFL prospect. Although Jackson is a very good linebacker, middle linebacker, and Dowling is an outstanding free safety, I don't think they have enough defensively to keep up with Central Michigan. Look for the Chippewas to win the Little Caesars Pizza Bowl.